Hello, how you all doing? I hope you're all doing well. I am here today with the world's most pointless cup of coffee because it's decaf. So today I am trying out something that was heavily promoted to me that I struggled to get a hold of at first. I absolutely freaking loved it. I immediately wanted to buy it, but every time I clicked on the link, it wasn't available for me because it was only for the UK as far as I could see, and I live in the USA. So this is the Great British Tea and Biscuit Coaster Kit, and I am so excited to finally be doing it today. Literally the first time I saw it, I clicked on it because I wanted to buy it. Like, I needed this kit. So when I click on it, it just went nowhere. It was not available to me, and I don't know if maybe it was available all that time and it just sold out. I'm not really sure, but every now and again I would get ads for the Great British Tea and Biscuit Coaster Kit, and I wanted this damn kit. And then one day I got another ad and I'm like, this is just teasing me at this point. This is so unfair. I clicked on it and finally I was able to buy it and have it sent over here to the USA. I was so happy. So I don't know, maybe it was available all this time in the USA and it's just every time I went to do it, it was so popular that it sold out. I really don't know, but this thing was so hard to get a hold of, and I am very grateful that I have it now. I will say I'm not sure if this is still available. If it is, I will link it below. If not, they do have a ton of kits very similar to this. I will also again link down below. I have my husband joining me today. A lot of people asked if I could do this with him. I think it's about time we get started, so let's go.
Okay, so I had my husband involved in this video and it was really hilarious, if I do say so myself, and for some reason, despite having audio waves when we were recording, my microphone just decided to record this the entire time. Thanks, microphone. So unfortunately, you're stuck listening to me do a voiceover. So this is the Great British Tea and Biscuit Coaster Kit by Pott'd and the Making Box. She makes these really cool things, including this mug. She makes a lot of cool other things too, but this mug is sort of reminiscent of what we're doing in today's video. I actually didn't know that Pott'd did collaborations with people until this box, and I genuinely really love Pott'd products. They are on the pricier side, but they do literally include everything you need, and they're especially fun for doing things with a loved one. They have some really fun craft ideas, and I'm just a really big fan of their products. I actually just recently opened up their advent calendar, and weirdly enough, it was actually the highest selling advent calendar that I linked out of all of my videos. So I'm guessing a lot of you love their products too, so here we go. Starting off, this box contains 2 boxes. First one is a paint your own mug kit. The next one was apparently hard to get out of the box. This is the one that contains all of the clay and clay products. So first we had our digestive biscuit mold. Selfishly, I am most excited for this one because to me, this is one of the better biscuits. Chocolate digestives are peak biscuit. If you disagree with me, it's okay to be wrong. We also have our bourbon, potato. I don't think anyone says potato, right? I mean, surely not. Then we have another S tier biscuit. This time it is the custard cream. If you're American, it's kind of like a golden Oreo, but they're rectangular and British. Moving on, we have a rich tea biscuit mold. This is what the young folks like to call mid. These are kind of like digestive wannabes. Then we have a box of paints, and this was really nice. We have brown, white, and you guessed it, we got brown. The nice thing about this is you don't have to mix your paints. These biscuits are all in varying shades, so all we have to do is just slap it on and be done. And it's very important that you get the exact shade of digestive biscuit. It was then I discovered what appeared to be a snotty tissue. This had what I am assuming was either snot or paint. Look, there's like brown on it.
Yeah, but I think it's clay.
But it's brown. It's probably clay, but my germophobic self says that's not clay, that's poop or snot.
Yes, someone just poops on a paper towel and puts it in the box.
They knew it was going to me. So my lovely husband here decided to unbox it for us.
Okay, so we have some super clay. It's orange bag and it's squishy. Then I pick up some, some brushes here and a little pointy stick. I don't know what that's for, but it's a pointed stick.
It's for killing Dracula. That's
okay.
What it's for. Yeah.
So killing Dracula. Okay. They include that in an art box just in case he shows up. We have a circle sponge rob.
Sponge rob.
Circle pants.
Circle pants.
And then we got some of this, what is this stuff? There's a bottle of base coat. as we spend ages trying to get it to focus.
There we go.
And then we have a second bag of not just clay, but super clay. We have a little tooth tool to, rip out your tooth, I guess.
You can't tell why we're married already by our senses of humor. What's that?
That's it's an old, thing that they used to bonk people in the head with, the old cops, right? They used to just go bonk, right? What's all this then? Bonk. And then we have another bottle, some sort of clear stuff, I think, in there. What is it?
Gloss.
Gloss. Yeah, it's a gloss. And then a third bag of super clay.
My face is so shiny, what the heck? I know why. It's ultra hydrated because I've been looking after my skin. I'm literally 5 months postpartum and I've done nothing for myself. Whilst on the topic of looking after myself postpartum, I also made an effort to look after myself during pregnancy as well. And when it comes to nutrient needs during pregnancy and postpartum, it's really important the products that you're taking are clean and safe for you and your baby. I wanted to talk to you today about our sponsor, Ritual. I do not take sponsors unless I actually love and use what I'm promoting to you. Here are literal receipts of me purchasing the Ritual prenatal in my pregnancy. And I went through like 3 different prenatals before I settled on Ritual. I'm no longer on the prenatals, but I am taking the pregnancy and postpartum essential protein daily shake. It includes clinically studied key ingredients to support the nutrient demands of mother and baby during pregnancy, postpartum and lactating. And would you believe the postpartum period is actually more nutritionally demanding than during pregnancy, especially if you're breastfeeding. This has 20 grams of plant-based protein. It also has 250 milligrams of essential choline. I also love that it's just easy on my stomach because I have always had a very sensitive stomach. So taking this gives me so much peace of mind that I am looking after myself as best as I can in the very limited time that I have. It's formulated with clean, high-quality ingredients in their bioavailable form. They're vegan, non-GMO, gluten and major allergen free, which is always very important. Plus, it's mum-founded and third-party tested, so you can rest assured the ingredients are well checked over. These can also be on a subscription, so you can have them delivered to your front door. So if you want to check out Ritual for yourself, go to ritual.com/ChloeRose25 and you'll get 25% off your purchase. And thank you so much to Ritual for sponsoring today's video.
Taking out the molds, there was one part that was like a cookie cutter that just shapes it, and the other part that you just sort of smush on it. I couldn't see any directions, so I was just left to assume the order in which you do this. I don't know if the snotty poop tissue was in place of said instructions by accident. Not sure on that one, but I'll just assume how I do this. Okay, so maybe what we do is we roll it out, cut it, pull the clay out, then we use the little thing to smush on top, even though I tried that and it just like smushed out everywhere a little bit too much. So I ended up taking off that top thing and yeah, did not look good. My husband decided to try just doing it like that. I mean, it sort of actually worked. I mean, he skipped a step. So when I knew I was filming this, I decided to ask on my Instagram if anyone had any questions for us to answer. So here we go. Okay, let's get into the questions that I have received on my Instagram. Go follow me on Instagram. Not that I post anything there, but what is your favourite biscuit? American or British, or both if you have both?
Well, American and British biscuits are totally different things. I love a nice, American biscuit, it's like hot, you have it with a meal and some butter and
the Bojangles, Bowberry,
Bojangles.
What did I say?
Bojangles. Oh. You don't go fast through it. You say Bojangles.
No, it's Bojangles.
No, it's not. It's Bojangles.
Bojangles.
Better, but still wrong.
Bojangles.
No, even worse that time.
Bowberry biscuits that our dog also enjoyed very much overnight when we left them on the table. Yep. There was half of one left. I mean, digestive biscuits all the way, but I also have a really good chocolate chip recipe that I found online. I'll link it in the description. I'm obsessed with it.
Oh, well, give me the dang cookie any day.
That's what you were talking about.
Well, if it's not a biscuit. Over anything else, I'm taking your chocolate chip cookies.
What is your favourite thing about Britain from your childhood that you miss? Oh, that's a good one. Isle of Wight, yeah, our little family holidays. There's always so many things to do. There was like bicycle holidays, treetop trails, I think it was called, something like that. That's fun. There's just lots of little things to do as a family that you'd sort of go away for weekends or for a week or something like that. How did you and your husband meet, and what is your favourite memory together so far?
None of your business.
We met on Hinge, the dating app, in February of 2020, and then COVID hit in March of 2020. We spent 13 and a half months apart, seeing each other only from the car window, and he stuck with me, and the rest is history, basically. Became best friends pretty much right away. I mean...
Favorite memory of any kind? Getting married?
Yeah.
And having our baby?
Yeah, those two things, yeah. to be cliche. So while that dries, we're going to move on to the mugs. Now, originally, I thought we would do a British and an American themed mug, but my husband is British biased and therefore wanted to also do a British mug because it's technically a British kit. Inside, they had 2 mugs. These were so nice, very, very heavy. They seemed like they were made on a pottery wheel, but I don't really know enough about that stuff to actually comment on it, to be fair. But it had the little thumb marks. It was very heavy. It felt handmade, but I could be wrong. What do I know? What's nice about these kits is they actually sell them individually. So Christmas time, for example, I've seen them sell gingerbread versions of these mugs, and I'm guessing the paint they give you is made especially for the mugs so that it kind of stays. And much to my surprise and relief, they had 2 sets of the same paintbrushes and 2 paint pot sets. Originally, we discussed like painting the British flag and then the England flag, similar to what they have on the box. But firstly, this mug is wobbly, and doing a straight line is next to impossible. Also, my husband decided he wanted to be very creative and paint one of his favourite British cuisines, a fryer. Now, I get so defensive when people crap on British food. Seriously. I mean, toad in the hole, bubble and squeak, spotted dick. What about that doesn't sound appetising to you non-British people? No, but for real though, pasties, sausage rolls, roast dinners, British fry-up, they are elite British foods. Have you ever had a scone? I didn't think so. What is your opinion on British food? That's my question.
I really, really love British food.
People crap on it.
It gets a really bad rep. And like some of the criticism, I understand. Beans in tuna and spud.
Only a psychopath puts that together.
With cheese on top. It doesn't look like it's the best.
It's not.
And I see why people make fun of it. The people who criticize though have never had a full English breakfast. With or without a nice scone on the side. With a latte like they do there. Because it is the best breakfast you can ever get.
You did a good job with the colours though. You picked really well for the colours. Did you mixed as well, didn't you?
Yeah,
I can see you mixed a lot on the plate. That was really good.
Yeah, I tried.
Well, to be fair, there's multiple brown colours in that, and you mixed it all yourself, which I was impressed. You did a good job. Mine looks like a boob. That was not supposed to be a boob.
No, it doesn't.
It looks like a boob. It's a jammy dodger, though.
It doesn't. It looks like a jammy dodger.
So the more I thought about what I wanted to add on here, the more I just kept painting food, because most of my favourite British stuff, ironically, is actually food. And the more I kept painting food, the more this letterbox that I started with just stuck out like a sore thumb. I'm actually so proud of what my husband did, though. Look at the crust on that bread. Very cohesive. I love the colours. I feel like I often see mugs like this with loose illustrations on them, and I genuinely just feel like I would see a mug like this in some small little boutique in a shop in England, in a little tiny little village, in those quaint little shops that have all the jelly cats. He was smart and left it at that, so I continued not doing the smart thing and repainting my jammy dodger about 16 times. On the other side, I decided to add a custard cream because it just felt fitting for the theme of this box, and I was running out of ideas at this point, okay? I could have drawn several jars of jam, obviously, but I didn't. I did end up cheating just a little bit though, because the paintbrushes they gave us weren't the best for detail work. There were a couple of strands just like poking out of the paintbrush at the top, so I cut them off, but it still wasn't the best for small details, so I ended up just using a dotting tool instead. I embarrassingly didn't really even know much about using dotting tools for small details until maybe a year ago. That's the fun about being a self-taught artist. You are always learning things from your comment section. Appreciate all of you watching and giving me some tips and tricks all the time. I ended up just scratching off the cup and the rose that I drew because I hated it, which did make me question the longevity of this paint, but these will be for decoration only, so I'm not too concerned. Pretty sure these paints are made to be used on ceramic, but it's probably like a hand wash situation. For whatever reason, I had scones on the brain, so I then proceeded to paint more scones, even though I technically already painted one. Actually, I want to paint a scone now, like a real scone with acrylic paints. That could be fun. I should do that next year. Tell me every video to paint a scone until I do it. I then decided to add a crown because, for obvious reasons, I added a crown, then a random British flag, so it wouldn't just seem like a food mug. And voila, these are how they turned out. I absolutely had a blast doing these. I loved it. They were very, very fun. These kits are made to do with people, so I'm really glad that my husband joined me for this one. But let's go check on those air dry clay coasters now and see how they look and paint them if they're ready.
Okay, so these are officially dry now. It's been like 3 or 4 days and these are finally all dry. So we're gonna go ahead, paint them and see how they look at the end. Okay, so I've just pulled out all of the brown colours and I realised that none of these are actually overly accurate. Well, actually, to be fair, that might be sort of digestive colour. Actually, I have one and I would say that's actually pretty accurate, so I might just stick with it, to be honest. I might actually make it a little bit more brown. I feel like that's pretty close, actually. These are basically done now. I don't want to make the coats too thick. I put three coats on these now, so they're basically done, but this is how they turned out. I am obsessed with this kit. I am so excited to have these molds that I can make so many of these whenever I want to. This one I think might need a 4th coat, to be honest, because the paint isn't super thick and you don't want to apply it too thick because then it'll just peel off. Came out so well. I absolutely love them. They're awesome.
So that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care of yourselves and I will see you in the next video.